Good morning, everybody. Hopefully I've got an audience. I'm not sure. Let's wait and see who turns up. And I tell you, if you're not coming today, if you're not coming this morning, you're missing an absolute cracker. I'm not going to show you until I can see that there are people on. Okay, we've got 6 of you here. Let me know who's here. Give me a wave, say hi. And for anyone who's watching this later, if you don't know who I am, my name's Lynn, and we are live streaming from Newcastle in Australia. I've just noticed the app's updated and there's a whole lot of new information here that I've never seen before, so I'm just trying to figure out what all that is. Something's at 100%, which is fantastic, whatever that is. Hi Tish, hi Joanne. All right, this is going to be really, really nice, everyone. This is going to be lovely. Looks like, is that, maybe that's microphone. Okay, if I go like that. Oh yeah, I can see what's happening there. Hi Mary Lou. And we look like we are transmitting at 30 frames per second and 4,000. All of this stuff is new. All right, hopefully that means something to me at some stage. Let's turn the camera around. And now, here we go. That one there. And I'm going to tap the screen and see if we can get that. Hi Marianne, how are you? And good morning Artemis. Great to see you. Now I didn't promise you a sunrise, but it looks like we're going to get one. This is looking pretty damn good, isn't it? Yeah, we are at Nobby's Beach. Nobby's Beach is, good morning Tariq. And hi Annette, great to see you. Thanks for joining me. So Nobby's Beach is basically at the entrance to Newcastle Harbour, and we are going to walk along this pier here. Oh, the lights just went out. Okay, the lights just went out along the pier. So that means that they're expecting sun, I guess. There's something floated up on the beach there. I don't know what that is. I wonder what that is. Hi Emily. And hi Matthew. Isn't that stunning? And hi Jay. I wonder what that is over there. I feel like we should walk down on the beach and have a look at it, but that's the opposite direction to where I was planning to go. Maybe we'll see that when we come back. Let's head off in the direction I was planning, because let's stick to the plan. And we are going to head out in this direction towards the lighthouse. So before we begin, what I'd like to do, as I usually do if I remember, is acknowledge that we're meeting today on the traditional lands of the Awabakal people and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. It's going to be hard not to look at this sky, isn't it? But we're going to glance away occasionally. It's looking pretty darn gorgeous. Richard with me today? No, he is at home for a very good reason. We are getting some furniture picked up and they don't know, they couldn't tell us what time. So we have to be there from 8 o'clock till 4 o'clock today, and I don't expect to get home until after 8 o'clock. So he's holding the fort. It could be a painting. I want to get these poles out of the way and then it would be a better painting. There we go. How's that? That's far better, isn't it? There we go. All right, I'm going to walk out along what is known as Macquarie Pier, and I'll tell you the story of how that came to be. But first of all, I had never noticed this before, and what we have here, let's see if I'm zoomed in. What we have here is one of the Aboriginal legends that is associated with this place. And the Aboriginal name for Nobby's Head is Wibagamba. And this tells the story, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, this tells the story of Wibagamba and the kangaroo, or Wibagamba's kangaroo. Awabakal culture heritage tells of the kangaroo that swam to Nobbys to escape wallabies chasing him. Here we go, it's difficult to read. He entered I can't actually read it at the moment because of the light. But basically, he entered the island, which is what that was, and I'll tell you about that in a moment. He entered the island and hid there, and every now and again he would thump his tail, and that's what caused the earthquakes that we would see around here. So that's the legend of Wibaganba. Let's keep an eye on the sky. So the island, which is now connected to where we're standing, was originally almost double the height, and I'm going to show you something that actually shows what that looked like in a moment. So before it was connected to the headland, that was a separate island. It stood almost double the height, and then when the British arrived and wanted to use the Hunter River as a port for shipping to come in, the island was a bit of an obstacle. So they actually, first of all, they tried to take the top off it, and then they tried to demolish it completely. And then finally they decided to connect it to land with a pier. I'm just looking at these people doing swimming and surfing and out in the water there, and it's just beautiful. You love dotting the kangaroo, Matthew. So it was decided to build a causeway that connected the island to the land. Long story short, that's what ended up causing this beach. So the sand all washed up and created this beach. So it's a man-made beach in effect, and it's now one of Newcastle's great surfing beaches. There's a person over there doing some yoga or something. So we're going to walk out here. There's some filming going on. What's this about? What are they doing? We've got arc lights and things. So here's the story of Wibaganba from the Aboriginal story. So Wibaganba is a place of cultural significance within the local landscape of Mulubinba, and that's the name for Newcastle. So Mulubinba is the name that I need to get into my head because that is the actual Aboriginal name for Newcastle. And it says here that it was an island, its beginnings and traditions a complex cultural narrative, stories originating from a past where ancestral beings created country and shaped the law and relations between all living things. It says local law tells of a great kangaroo concealed in the island who would thump his tail, causing earthquakes. There we go. All right, so someone's being interviewed for something or other over there, and we're going to head out along the pier. So every now and again there'll be a marker, and it'll prompt me to stop and tell you what the significance of it is. But this did mark the beginning of building or constructing the pier in the early 1800s. And we see here in this drawing what the island would have looked like back in the early 1800s before the construction of the pier. I'm going to let these ladies pass. We're going to see some of these flowers as we walk. Now, I identified those yesterday through Google Lens, and it tells me that they are evening primrose, which was a surprise to me because I thought evening primrose grew a little differently to that, but here we go. We've got these yellow flowers that apparently, for anyone who's interested, apparently that's evening primrose, because I have been asked before what the flowers are and I was never able to tell them. So there you go, that's what they are. And we're going to head out towards the lighthouse, and once upon a time, if you can imagine, this was a railway track. In fact, there was a tram that used to trundle along here out towards where the lighthouse is located now. Wallace and Gromit's more claymation. Yeah, so yeah, so you're discussing the difference between Wallace and Gromit and Dot and the kangaroo. So here's another kangaroo. A lot bigger than Buttercup's and not as shiny. I'm going to walk up here, up along this little path, and we're going to have a look at the sky from this point here. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten that we're here to see the sky. Right, so here we go. As we crest the little hill here on the sand dune. Hi Natasha. What is that on the left? That building there is a house for, they store canoes and the rubber duckies and various watercraft in there for the lifesavers. Okay, some of you may remember that I brought you here, let me think, about 18 months ago it was, and we watched an air show. Does anyone remember the screaming jets flying overhead from when we stood around about here? Look at that, the tinting over the cloud there. And then if we look back in this direction, this used to be called Signal Hill and it's now Fort Scratchley. And there is a gun up on that hill that is fired at 11 o'clock every day. I need to go up there and actually see what the hell that's about. I haven't done that yet. And we did actually visit a sculpture event up on Fort Scratchley about 18 months ago as well. All right, so let's keep walking. The sky is going to constantly change as we walk. We're going to head out towards the lighthouse. And I'll keep looking for spots that we can come up here and look towards the sky as we go. So the place is significant for, just back to this building here that Annette was asking about, which is where they store the watercraft for the lifesavers. We'll see that on the way back as well, but here there's various paintings along this building. I just felt a drop of rain. Please don't do that. Please don't rain. We have the rainbow lorikeets hanging out in this section of bushland here. Now, once upon a time, this was actually the site of depression housing. So, shantytown. There was a shantytown set up here in 1930, which was removed in 1937 at the start of the war. But there was a whole bunch of people who set up housing with, just found timber and metal and hessian sacks, and they would live in this spot here during the Depression. And I can feel more raindrops. And we can just see heading out of the harbour here, we have one of the marine pilots. This is the largest coal port in the world, I believe. It was the first industrial port or commercial port in Australia. But there's one of our marine pilots heading out to sea, and he'll be getting ready to bring some sort of ship into the harbour. We'll keep an eye out for helicopters as well, because they do it that way too. Just keeping an eye on the sky. it's reached this point here, we're going to pop over and have a look at the next opportunity. I was told yesterday that sometimes you get to see seals hanging out on the rocks along here. So I don't know if that's just at certain times of year. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for seals, which would be wonderful. And Emily says, would love to get some rain and green some stuff up. Whereabouts are you, Emily? You're having some drought conditions where you are. Annette says, going to be 80 in California. You're heading for a warm one today. A couple of pelicans just landed on the surface of the water over here. I don't know if you can see those. There we go. We'll keep an eye out for dolphins as well, because they occasionally go away. I didn't ask you to do that. I didn't ask you to do that. I tapped something and something came up on the screen. So, okay, looks like here's another spot that we can walk across to the sand dune and look out towards the sea. So let's go do that. So as I was saying, this area is significant from an Aboriginal perspective. It's significant, has history related to the war, World War II. There was a Japanese submarine during World War II that actually shelled Newcastle. And there's a signage board along this walk that actually shows where the submarine was located and the path of the shells. Even damaged at least one house in Newcastle, and apparently one of the shells actually landed in Mayfield West, which is my home suburb. And Natasha says we have dolphins in Vancouver too. I imagine you would. Yeah, and whales, I guess, as well, Natasha. All right, we're up here on the sand dunes again. Oof, it's hard going. Okay, here we are. Joanne says things are hotting up here in Istanbul, and not just the weather. The fifth night of protests here. I'm not sure how I missed that, Joanne, but I haven't been across protests in Istanbul. I hope you're safe. Yeah. Give those troubles a wide berth. So we've got uncertain weather here today. It could rain. As I said, I felt a spot of rain a moment ago. It's absolutely gorgeous, Annette. It really is. This is a 15-minute drive from my house. How's the wind, by the way? I'm using the microphone that Annette gave me, and I noticed that there's a bit of wind picking up. Is it having any effect? Here's these flowers. Oh. Sorry, I'm just about to fall over, so trying to avoid that happening. Sounds good. Thanks, Lynn. No wind problems. Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. And we can start to see the colouring of the clouds over here. So we may not actually see the sun come over the horizon. It looks like there's a big cloud bank there that's going to... You only hear the surf, Jay. That's wonderful. Big cloud bank on the horizon, which may prevent us seeing the actual sunrise, which was due, in fact, 4 minutes ago. So we'll have to wait for the sun to actually come up over that bank of cloud. Let's keep walking. And of course, as I've already mentioned, this is Australia's biggest, or actually I think it's the largest coal port in the world. So coal is of huge importance to Australia's economy, and therefore causes lots of argument whenever the subject of fossil fuels and what we should do moving forward comes up. But we see, I think it was 2,200 ship movements through this port every year. And we also get cruise ships as well, so that happens, I think, fairly irregularly. I think they only come in about once every couple of weeks. I've seen one since we've been here, and we saw that on the tour I did where we caught the ferry a couple of weeks ago. Water temperature at the moment, Marianne, is on a scale of 1 to Lynn going in the water. It's too cold for me. Richard's been going in with his wetsuit, so he'll go out there. He went out there yesterday with his bodyboard, and he'll have a wetsuit on, and it's reached the point where it's too much of a brr factor for me. When we get back, remind me, and I'll see if I can find, they have a little chalkboard at the surf club which gives where they put the water temperature up every day, and I'll have a look for it. So this island, which is now part of the mainland, started off, I think it was 60 something metres high, and you saw the shape of it in that illustration a little while ago. And they decided that for the safety of shipping, they were going to blast the top off it. First of all, I think they wanted to blast it away completely. Just noticed this, would you call it an artwork? I guess you would. Hi Walpuri, great to see you. Thanks for coming along. I'm zoomed in. Am I zoomed in? I think I'm zoomed in. Oh yeah, there we go. And as a result, it became the first environmental protest in Australia, where residents of Newcastle actually protested about destruction of the island. So go us. I'm not sure, was that a world thing? Was that the first time in the world? I'm not sure, but definitely here they had a protest about destroying the island. So someone placed value on it. And of course the Aboriginal people had the legend about the kangaroo, so it would have been devastating for them to lose it. There's so many people here this morning. There's people everywhere. Okay, so what have we got this one about? This one talks about the marine pilots, which I've already told you about. Yeah, this is about the marine pilots. They've been guiding ships into Newcastle port for over 220 years. Just got to watch this cable. It's tugging on the phone. Let's give it a bit more. There we go. And Emily says the cloud bank looks like a row of bears. We have another opportunity to walk out onto the sand dune over here. And I'm keeping an eye out for that information board that talks about the shelling of Newcastle during World War II as well, so I can give you actual facts. Did you hear the magpie? He's just up on top of that lamp there, lantern, and he gave us a little song just now. Oh, people everywhere, gosh. Good morning. Love the call of the magpie. You might have noticed. I always stop and let them have their say. Here we go. Here's the one about the shelling of Newcastle. So let's look at that first. So the submarine was out here. We can see that this is Stockton, which is over there. That's Stockton over there. And this is Fort Scratchley. So this is where we are standing right now, out along this pier here. And the shelling came over into Newcastle. Here's Mayfield West, where I live. Mayfield North. So it actually hit. It was an industrial area, so they were targeting, industrial sites relevant to making war-related stuff. Okay, that's the path up to the lighthouse. It's really steep. It's only open on weekends, and I am not confident of my ability to walk up that driveway. So I'm going to have to give it a go and see whether it's doable. Because I'd love to take you up there, but I have to see what it's like for myself first. Well, let's see if we can find an easy way over these pencil-shaped blocks of concrete. Look, artist pencils. That's a big... I can't do that. This way. There, that way. Alright, and now we're going to go up here. For anyone who's not familiar in walking in sand, it's not easy. Okay, come on son, you're late this morning. Get out from behind those clouds. Will you do more volunteer work with the sanctuaries, Lynn? It's a bit of a drive for me from here. There's a helicopter out there. I wonder if he's a pilot, as in a marine pilot. It's a good 45-minute drive to get up to the sanctuary. And at the moment I've just got a lot on my plate, so I haven't ruled it out. And I was actually talking to a lady last night. I went to an event last night. I'll tell you about that in a minute rather than interrupting what I'm talking about right now. So I was talking to a lady last night who's from Hunter Wildlife Rescue to try and establish whether I could be involved with that. I found out where they operate out of, which is the place I've taken you to on a past tour. I don't know if you remember me getting almost carried away by mosquitoes at the wetlands. And that was probably about 18 months ago as well. So I know where they operate out of, and I'll see if I can somehow get involved with that. The sun is being very coy. It is indeed, Tariq. So I've talked about how this is a man-made beach and sandbar, sandspit. And these plants along here, while they look like they're doing a fantastic job of holding the dune in place, they're actually a pest. This is bitu bush, and it comes in the ballast in ships, and it spreads really rapidly and overtakes every other kind of native vegetation. And it's not great for our wildlife either. I mean, it doesn't offer anything for them, basically. Hi, Cynthia. Wonderful to see you. So we haven't seen the sun yet. The sun's been very shy this morning. It's behind a cloud bank right now, which gives us an opportunity to get out beyond the lighthouse, and we'll just see what it looks like when we get out there. But this would be where the seals hang out when they come to town. And if I was a young and energetic person, I could even attempt to climb up there. Looks like lots of people have. I think this one here talks about the bitu bush. Yeah, just wait for this person to get past. Okay. So this talks about the threats to biodiversity, and in particular is this bitu bush. But here it's also talking about boats getting too close to whales, and how these birds will nest on beaches, so it can be a conflict with people on beaches. And I think what they'll often do is, if they know that there's a tern nesting on a beach, they'll kind of rope off that area. You saw the little doggy, yeah. And I'm pretty sure this is more to do with the war. Or no, wait on. No, this isn't. This is to do with the breakwaters. So it's talking about the two breakwaters that are here at the entrance to Newcastle port. Now that's the spelling of Webeganba. What I forgot to tell you is that there's a place on Mars called Nobbys, and it's actually a nod to this place that we're standing. The NASA updated that when the word or the term Webeganba was officially recognised. So now the place on Mars is called Nobbys Webeganba. There's your trivia question for you. Do we have any trivia masters here? You could create a question around that somehow. So yeah, it's a bit of a climb up to the lighthouse. So this was also this Nobbys Webeganba was created through volcanic activity, and we'll see a point up ahead where they actually show what the layers that were laid down during that time actually look like. And so we'll be able to see a layer of coal, and we'll also be able to see a layer of volcanic ash. And coal, of course, is what attracted early settlers to this area in particular. The sound of the sea is wonderful, isn't it, Cynthia? Absolutely wonderful. Okay, I can see the sun, so I'm torn here. All right, we can see the sun. I think we'll see the illustration about the volcano on our way back. Let's go see the sun. Let's go see the sun and take its blessing. How's that? And I have a decision here as well. How long have we been going? Let me see. We've only been going half an hour. I might be able to do it. Should we go right out to the end of the pier at the breakwater? Because the other thing I was considering doing was going down onto the beach, which is what Cynthia wants me to do, I know. And actually look for the holes at the bottom of the cliff where the explosives were placed to try and destroy the island. Cynthia, yes, pants rolled up. Cynthia, I'm wearing short pants today. In anticipation. All right, so there's the island, the former island. Looks like someone's thinking about building a fire. I might go, how about we do both? I'm going to go a little way out along the breakwater. We won't go all the way to the end. I'm going to keep an eye out for whichever ship it was that the pilot was heading out to sea for, because they'll be bringing that into port at some point. So here's your morning dose of sunshine. I'm not very good at doing afternoons for 3 reasons. I've got 3 valid reasons. First of all, it doesn't match up with very many time zones particularly well. Did I say 3? Maybe it's 2. There's a helicopter up there. I wonder if it's going to bring a ship in soon. Normally by that time of day, I'm winding down. I often have a glass of wine in front of me by the end of the day. That's my me time. Not very dedicated, I know, yes, I know, I accept that. But I have been known to do an occasional afternoon, and I'm kind of thinking this wouldn't be a bad spot to watch a sunset from. What do you think? I think a sunset might be pretty awesome here. No, this isn't Where Am I Wednesday. I decided to do it separate from Where Am I Wednesday. There's someone coming in on a surfboard there. There's a lot of rocks out there. Maybe the seals hang out here. Look at this. The waves. Crashing of the waves against the breakwater. And every now and again we'll see something like this, and then causes you to wonder what happened. Did something happen to him here, or was this just a favourite spot? I'm actually glad we came out along the breakwater and heard the sound of the sea crashing against the rocks. And that sun is still being a little bit shy. How are we going for time? Oh, we're going okay. And the wind has dropped, which is good. What do we have here? Oh, it's an Australian neck. I wonder if he spotted something. The shape of the neck, Tish, just snake-like. It's very long and kind of sinuous, the way that it can bend it. But that one's called an Australian darter, quite similar to a shag or a cormorant. That's a pretty nice view, isn't it? Here comes another wave. And by the time the sun finally decides to come up over that bank of cloud, it's almost lost all of its wonderful colour, which is a bit of a shame. I feel rather blessed, Joanne, and it's one of those places that you never would have considered living here 30 years ago. It was just a workers' town. It was ugly and steelworks and industry, but now it's been revitalised, and we're outward facing. I know it sounds like a pretentious term, but we're appreciating what's around us rather than being solely focused on what the town originally grew up on, and what determines the employment and the wealth of the city. So there's another marine pilot coming out. There's two coming out. So I'm pretty sure I can't see. Well, there's only one ship I can see, and it's quite a long way out. It's all the way over there on the horizon. That's the only one I can see. I might turn around and head back, and we'll get down onto the beach for Cynthia's benefit, because I know how much she loves it. I'm just looking at the rocks here. So I don't know if this is being constructed as concrete, concrete with rocks, or whether it's actually like conglomerate, because I'm no rock expert. We need Andre. Do you remember Andre? He used to come on some of my tours from the Netherlands, and he was very interested in rocks, all things to do with rocks. Where are we going? 40 minutes. All right, we'll go just a little further. We're here. We're going to go all the way to that little tower there. You're just making me walk further, that's all. It's all good. Every time I go to cross the path, someone happens to be coming the other way. Okay, I'm going to try and get you a shot through the rocks here with the sun. Getting my steps in, I sure am. Oh, I just noticed that there's some, here, I'm going to show you something. This is quite nice. Her name is Heidi, and she was here 1977 to, does that say 2014? You are so loved, our hearts are bursting. May there be op shops and Aussie hip hop. And I know that, he just made a noise, that boat. So there's some kind of, it looks like a concrete casting depicting sea life. That might be Nobbys in the middle. Yeah, there we go. There's Nobbys over there. And seabird flying over. There's a series of them now. Oh, it was worth coming over here for, wasn't it? Here's another one. So what does this show? This looks like life aboard a ship, maybe. We can see the porthole there and the compass. Rel Squires. Looking out through the porthole, there's a cat. I wonder if that's meant to be Matthew Flinders. And what's this one? This one shows, is it a siren, perhaps? Calling the man to the sea? Is that what this is? And then one more. A ship in a bottle. No, I wasn't expecting that along here either, Tish. And there's another one over here. Oh, there's a whole series of them. This is awesome. So this one looks like it's showing the port, the actual port of Newcastle. There's a small boy in the foreground playing with a boat on the sand, maybe. They may be building sandcastles. That's my interpretation of it, but in the background you've got the city. That's a channel marker, so they can see that it's very bright, of course, to see that out at sea and help guide them towards the port. All right, if I don't turn around soon, I'm never going to make it back to back to the building and show you those murals on the side of the building within an hour. So, but we are right at the end, so let's actually get right to the end. Here we are. We've reached the end of the Breakwater. Okay, so there's a ship right out there. I guess that's where they're heading. I guess that's the one they're bringing in, because I don't see anything else. So there we have, over there we've got the eastern end of Newcastle itself. The cloud's dominating this scene, isn't it? It's really weird. I see something quite different through with the naked eye than I do through the camera lens. So I actually had to look what I'm pointing the camera at. So over there is Nobby's Beach, where we started from. There's the surf clubhouse building, and then there's the lighthouse in the middle, and over to the left it's fading into the background. It's quite dominant when you're standing there, but fading almost into the background just looks like a small hill. That's Fort Scratchley. Right, let's. Clouds are amazing, aren't they, Artie? They absolutely are. Oh, look, here we go. Here's the marine pilots heading out. We've got 3 of them. So there's the one in the lead. And I'm guessing you all know how this works, but they'll go right up to the ship, and someone from the leading ship, I think, will actually board the ship, and I don't know if he takes control of the ship, but he's certainly there helping the captain guide the ship into the port, because it's quite a shallow port, and it's got a couple of weird bends in it as well, apparently. All right, let's get down onto that beach. What time have we got? It's 10 minutes, 50 minutes I've been going. Yeah, I can do that. Go, guys. We'll get down into the water. Dip our toes. So I want to do a couple of variations on this theme, I guess. So still sort of having Nobbys featured, but coming at it from different angles. I'm exploring a couple of different ways that I can do that. I'd like to get up on top of the hill where Fort Scratchley is located, It doesn't open until 10 o'clock in the morning, so that's, what time is it now? It's coming up to 7:30 my time. So we're talking 2.5 hours from now before Fort Scratchley actually opens, which I know is not an ideal time for a lot of you. Okay, that's weird. I'm absolutely certain I turned my certain I turned my phone to silent, do not disturb, and I just got a message. So obviously did something wrong. Natasha's just left an emoji. I'm not sure what that's referring to. Emily says, hi, I'm a walking cast with a broken toe, in a walking cast. Oh, sorry to hear that, Emily. Did you do something silly like I would do and kick the furniture? I've reached the point in my life, I'm just going to come out between one of these things. Look, we can actually step through here. I've reached the point in my life, I don't know if you can relate to this, where I'm starting to think that I need to buy slippers just so that I can walk around my own house, because I normally walk around barefoot. Okay, big toot from the ship. Cynthia says the furniture comes out and bites my toes. And Emily says kicked a dumbbell doing a workout. Oh, same sort of deal. Well, I hope you're not slowed down for too long, Emily. And we're starting to see the effect of the sun casting its light on the landscape now. Still long shadows. The sea's a bit rough today. Now I'm trying to see, because if we're going to see it, this is kind of the angle we need to be looking from. I'm trying to see if I can see those holes that were used for the explosive devices to try and knock out this island. Now I'm not sort of seeing it. I suspect there's probably vegetation growing up in front of it now. Oof. Is there another one coming in? I missed the spot. I was pointing slightly in the wrong direction. There's no one actually surfing off here at the moment that I can see. there were some around the bend. So around that point where the sand is, there were some surfers around there. So it's probably just a little bit too wild and haphazard here at the moment. There's a person standing right on that, out on that point there. You're welcome, Lynn. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So you can see where the wave action is biting into the sand here. I know this isn't uniquely Australian, but it's called pig face. We call it pig face, and I think it's got other names. It gets a gorgeous pink flower, and it's actually bush food, so people will eat it. I had a taste and wasn't too impressed. It's very salty. All right, now that ship is moving. We're going to start seeing it coming into port soonish. Let's get down and dip our toes in the water first. Pig-faced Tish. Well done. Yeah, usually it's sort of a bright pink flower, Artie. Really pretty. I'm not taking my shoes off because they'll be covered in sand and wet, and I've got to walk back along this path. I've got no way of cleaning and drying them off. So I'm going to leave my sandals on, but they're water. Well, they're okay to take in water. Good for the soul. Thank you, Marianne. We have to find an easy way down. I think we have to go over here. There we go. We can see the ship starting to get closer to the entrance to the harbour. So as we walk back along the breakwater, we'll probably be walking alongside it. Island. Now we have a lovely beach. The Aboriginal people aren't absolutely thrilled about it because they don't believe in making change to what in their culture they refer to as the rainbow serpent, and basically creation. Oh, here we go. All right. Lynn says, and it's some before the end. Yeah, just slightly I am. It's not Lynn says no temperature. I don't know, I'm going to get back up here. It's actually quite steep. I'll go this way. Go at an angle. Ah. All right, now it's time to hightail it back along the breakwater. That was for you, Cynthia. I hope you got it. Oh, it's buffering. Okay, let me know if I'm back. Am I back? I got a low signal warning just as I dipped the camera down to point it at my feet. Oh well, that was an anticlimax then, wasn't it? Trust me, I did. I got my feet wet and now they're all sandy. I should have taken my own screenshot, shouldn't I? Just to prove it. All right, we're going to get raised back up to the top of the breakwater. Obviously, Nobbys. Oh! Stupid me, I'm just clumsy.
I didn't even notice. I just saw you getting up.
Oh, I took a great dive.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sweetheart.
Thank you so much. Oh,
Oh,
do you know?
Sit. Have you got
No,
somewhere
I'm all right.
to
I'm
sit?
fine. I've got a live audience. I'm doing this for their benefit. I hope you were all impressed. Look, guys.
Oh my god. Oh, if you're my little
Here's my
granddaughter-
saviour. Look, I'm going to show you my saviour.
No, that's okay.
Oh, she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to be. She doesn't want to be my saviour.
No,
She helped me
happy
up
to
off
be
the
your
ground.
saviour, but I don't want to be on the camera. Oh, you poor girl.
The
If you
things
were
we
my
do.
granddaughter, she'd be screaming. She'd just be. Oh, gee, I'm just thinking whether or not you need to have a sit though.
I'll be fine. I'll walk it out. How many people saw that? I've got apparently 13 people at the moment.
Don't worry, it'll grow.
Thanks for your help. Okay. And my camera looks like it's sitting wonky now as well. Have I got it lined up properly? All right, you're going to forgive me for the wonkiness. I'm not sure if it's lined up properly on the gimbal. Oh dear. Yeah, so that's what I did to myself. Aren't you all glad you stuck with me? And where were you? You're supposed to help me up these places. You're not supposed to let me fall. Oh dear. Anyway, well, that's my third live fall on camera since the beginning of my live streaming journey. Twice on Hago, and then it's been a long time. That's quite a gap. But yeah, it was so steep and uneven climbing up from the beach. And Richard says, slow down, take a deep breath. That's okay. It's all good. I'll walk it out. How long have I been going? 1 hour and 4 minutes. So it's going to take me about 10 minutes, Annette, to get back to that building with the murals, which I need to do anyway. So I may as well keep you all live. And you can all tell me how silly I am. Matthew says, listen to your husband. What did I miss? Artie says, you are incredibly polite. I'd have been banned from YouTube if it had been me. Did I swear? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Does anyone remember hearing a word that shouldn't have been transmitted? If there was, I apologise. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to go back and replay it now. Watch it back. Way more gracious than me falling. And Melanie says, have some antiseptic ready, Richard. I should have dipped it in the salt water. Here's some more of these pencil things. You know, those concrete pencil shapes. You all heard nothing? Yeah. You're all very kind. I'm sure I said something starting with S, but anyway, it's okay. It's all right. Here we go. That ship we were talking about. It's finally here. It's called MG Explorer, which is quite appropriate. You're on Channel Explore with Lynn, so here we go. The MG Explorer. You're all yelling at the screen. I'm going to have to go back and actually have a look at the fall part, aren't I? I think I said OS. Are you all still there? Or something of that kind. And I'm so sorry about the wonky screen, but I think the camera, I didn't position it back on the gimbal properly. Anyway, that's what I was thinking originally, Lynn, but I didn't think you would want to go back down to the water after that. Yeah, salt water would be good, but no, I'm not going to risk doing that again. All right, here's another doggo. And I guess if we were going to see any dolphins, now would be the time because they would be riding the bow wave. But there aren't any. Nanette says, I almost fell down the magnificent wooden staircase at the museum once during a live stream. That woke me up. Yeah, I bet it did. Yeah, I'm normally pretty good after a history of falling at watching where I put my feet. I mean, you've heard me more times. You must get bored with me saying I'm watching where I put my feet. I'm being very careful. I say that on almost every tour. And you must get so sick of hearing me say it. But that's why. There's the reason. Okay. I think, you know what? I think we've been going way long enough. And I've got a low battery warning. We're at this lovely spot here where I can actually sit down and take the camera, turn the camera off and fix everything up, put it away properly. So why don't I just come down here and farewell you from here? And that we're just going to have to see that building with the murals another time, because after a low transmission, low signal, and then and then my antics, I think we've all seen enough, haven't we? All right, okay. A wave goodbye. I feel like an idiot, but you know, that's par for the course. Here we go. This is what it's looking like behind me right now. And thank you so much, everyone who came along to share my adventures with me this morning. Oh, I don't know about that, Joanne. Yeah, I'm always laughing at my idiocy. That's what I'm doing, Cynthia. Tish says, sorry for your mishap. And well, Puri says, Kitos, does that mean thank you? If so, I've learned a Finnish word this morning, I think. Is that right? All right, everyone. Thanks so much. There's a couple of kayakers. I'll turn the camera back around just so you can see the kayakers. And enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Please check the calendar. Check out what's coming up. Kitos. Okay, so is that correct? Is that how you pronounce it? Kitos? Kitos. Thank you, Walpuri. Bye, everybody. On the wonky skyline. Oh, why don't I turn it away from the wonky skyline? There we go. Bye, everybody. Thank you. See you next time. Bye for now. And thanks, Annette. Yes. A thumbs up would be excellent. And a comment would be on the actual video would be great as well. Thank you. Bye for now.